Did you know that a terrible incident took place in a country like Australia, which made even the judges of its Supreme Court think? Today's story is about a case when a living person was buried underground. Before starting the video, please like and subscribe to the Haunting Crime channel. Today, we are going to talk about the Jasmine Kaur case. This story begins in one of Australia's most beautiful cities, Adelaide. It was in this city that an Indian origin couple used to live. The year was 2021, specifically the 6th of March. Early in the morning, this couple went to their local police station in Adelaide and reported a missing person case. The missing girl was their relative, who had come from India to study nursing. Her name was Jasmine Kaur. They told the police that Jasmine had been missing since the night of the 5th of March. They thought she might be partying with her friends or attending a function, but usually she would call before doing so. When she didn't come home by late night, they called her, but her phone was switched off. They called again the next morning, but still, her phone was off. They had already checked with her workplace, friends, and everywhere she usually went, but there was no sign of Jasmine. The relatives were very worried. Then the police asked for more details about Jasmine, such as how she looked, what clothes she might have worn, whether she traveled by public transport or had her own car, and what routes she usually took. Jasmine's family was originally from Punjab, India. Jasmine had completed her schooling in Punjab and was a very bright, ambitious girl with big dreams. She had a strong desire to serve people as a doctor, but her interest gradually shifted towards nursing. She had heard that nursing education in Australia was excellent, so she spoke to her mother about going there. Initially, her mother refused, saying it was not safe to live alone in a foreign country. But later, when she learned that they had close relatives in Australia, she felt a little more comfortable with the idea. After completing her schooling, Jasmine moved to Adelaide and lived with her aunt and uncle. Since her family's financial condition wasn't great, Jasmine decided to work part-time to ease the financial burden on her family. Eventually, she got a job at a nursing home in North Adelaide, where she worked as a nurse, caring for the elderly. She was very happy with the job, and her relative's home provided her a place to stay. Every day, she would study during the day and work at the nursing home in the evening. She had her own car for transportation. Everything seemed to be going fine. Now in 2021, Jasmine's daily routine was to study in the morning and work part-time in the evening. On the 5th of March, 2021, she went to work as usual, parked her car in the usual parking area, and everything was normal. Around 10 p.m., after finishing her shift, she packed her things and left the nursing home. Her aunt and uncle were waiting for her at home, but as time passed, 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., Jasmine still hadn't arrived. They called her, but her phone was switched off. They thought her phone might have run out of battery and that she had gone out with her friends. Jasmine occasionally did this. She would come home late, but always called her aunt or uncle to inform them. However, on the night of the 5th, she didn't call. Worried, her aunt and uncle went to the local police station and filed a missing person report. The police took the case seriously because it involved a foreign girl. The initial hours of a missing persons case are very important, as the chances of finding the person decrease with time. The Adelaide police understood this well and quickly set up an investigation team. They first went to the place where Jasmine was last seen, Southern Cross Care Old Age Home. The staff there said she had left at 10 p.m., just like every other day, and everything seemed normal. The police began to wonder, if she had left the nursing home, where could she have gone? According to the staff, her mood seemed normal. There was nothing about her behavior or expression that suggested she was upset or troubled. No fights or arguments had occurred with anyone else. Then the police thought that Jasmine used to travel here by car. She might have come in her car yesterday too. After that, the parking area of the Noldays home was checked. Jasmine's car was parked in its spot. Seeing the car, the police were also surprised. The uncle and aunt recognized the car, and from the number plate, it was confirmed that this was their car. A little further outside, there was a CCTV camera. The police checked it according to the timing from the previous night. This area wasn't very busy, only a few people came and went. At the time when Jasmine left the Old Days home, a car was captured in the CCTV footage. It was a metallic colored Commodore. Looking closely at the car, there was only one person driving it. Jasmine was not visible in the car, but the car couldn't be ignored as its timing matched with Jasmine's exit. Then a police team started investigating the car. Meanwhile, the uncle and aunt had called Jasmine's mother in India to inform her about the disappearance of her daughter. She was also very worried because she couldn't reach Jasmine on the phone. Afterward, Jasmine's mother and siblings also left for Australia. By March 7th, the police had identified the car's owner. The owner lived not far away. The police went to his address to inquire and questioned him. The car owner mentioned that 2 nights ago, on March 5th, his roommate had taken the car for some work. The car had been with his roommate on the night of March 5th, and the roommate's name was Tariq Singh. The boy was only 20 years old and lived here for his studies. It was later discovered that he knew Jasmine. They were friends, and Tariq confirmed that he had been in the car on the night of March 5th. In fact, it had been several months since he last met Jasmine, and their friendship was not very good anymore. The police found nothing suspicious at first. After talking to him, they left, but the police couldn't fully trust the boy. In a friendly manner, they got his phone number and sent his details to the control room for further investigation. By now, Jasmine's mother and siblings had also arrived in Australia. The police talked to them. From the mother, it was revealed that about a month ago, Jasmine had filed a complaint against a person at the Adelaide local police station because he had been harassing her. This person was Tariq Singh. They had once been friends, but after some incident, Jasmine had cut off ties with him. However, Tariq did not want to end the friendship, so he began harassing her. The complaint was filed at the same police station where the missing person complaint had been registered. This raised suspicion in the police's minds. The police also retrieved Tariq's call records and message history and found his location matched Jasmine's location for the night of March 5th. They also discovered that both their locations were the same for a brief time, and then suddenly both went offline. Further analysis of Tariq's messages also showed he had threatened Jasmine. Based on this suspicion, the police brought him to the station and interrogated him. After their questioning and the evidence they had found, Tariq broke down and said, "I know where Jasmine is. She was really troubled by something and decided to end her life. I tried to talk her out of it, but she wouldn't listen, and seeing everything, I was scared. I was the only one there, and I feared that the blame for her death might fall on me. So I took her to a remote place and buried her. My involvement in her death is not true. She was troubled by something else." Afterward, Tariq led the police to the place where he had buried Jasmine. It was the Flinders Mountain Range in South Australia, a remote, hilly, and desert-like area where very few people lived. On the morning of March 8th, the police and high officials with Tariq set off on the road to this location. This place was about 645 kilometers away from the Old Days home where Jasmine had disappeared. It was a journey of about 4 to 4.5 hours. Everyone knew Jasmine was buried underground, so they brought tools for digging and some workers with them. After a long journey, the police arrived at the site. This was the Moralana Creek, where the car had been parked. About 100 meters away, some trees were also present. Tariq pointed to a tree, and the workers began digging slowly. After some digging, the police found the body. Jasmine had disappeared on March 5th, and her body was found on March 8th. Her face was still recognizable. The local guardian had described the clothes, and they were the same as those found on the body. It was evident that the body belonged to Jasmine. There was a slight cut mark on her neck. Both her hands were tied behind with cable ties, and her feet were also tied with the same cable ties. A blindfold had been placed on her eyes to prevent her from seeing. After this, the body was sent for post-mortem. The police conducted further investigations, and they found Jasmine's workplace ID, parts of her shoes, and clothes. Later, the police officially arrested Tariq Singh. He was charged with kidnapping Jasmine. He continued to insist that Jasmine had taken her own life and he had nothing to do with it. By then, the police had gathered information about the routes Jasmine had been kidnapped from and where she had been buried. The police then checked all the CCTV footage from the routes, from gas stations to stores. In one footage, Tariq was seen entering a store. When checking the footage, it is revealed that this guy was buying the same items here that were used on Jasmine, such as cable ties, a shovel for digging, black gloves to avoid being seen in the dark. He was buying all these items on the 5th of March. The entire investigation, however, took place on the 8th of March. Several different teams from the local police and investigative agencies were working on this case. Some were working at the ground level, some on forensic matters, and some in technical areas, such as checking CCTV and call details. Some teams were interrogating people, while others were interrogating Tariq Jot Singh. By the evening of the 8th of March, Jasmine's post-mortem report also arrived. It revealed that Jasmine had a small cut on her neck. The skin was slightly cut, but this couldn't have caused her death. Upon examining her lungs, it was found that she died due to suffocation. The fact that she was buried underground meant she was buried alive. Based on the statements of Tariq Jot Singh, at the time he buried Jasmine, and according to the post-mortem report, there was a gap of 20 to 22 hours between her death and burial. This means Jasmine was alive underground for 20 to 22 hours. Her mouth and nose were filled with dirt, likely from the soil being thrown on her. Her hands were tied behind her back with a cable tie, so she couldn't even remove the dirt. There was a cut on her neck, causing bleeding. As a result, she slowly died in agony. We can't even imagine how painful this must have been. Tariq Jot also admits that when he buried Jasmine, her breaths were still alive, and he knew it well. Still, he continuously denied the murder. The police were gathering all the evidence and witnesses. There was a lot of anger among the public about this news, and every news channel was showing it. The police kept questioning Tariq Jot, but he denied everything. If he didn't commit the murder, he couldn't tell who did. For almost 9 months, continuous pressure was applied to him. Then, one day he breaks down and admits that he is responsible for Jasmine's hellish death. In February 2022, he confessed to his crime. Now he tells his story. Tariq Jot Singh and Jasmine Kaur were good friends, but with time, Tariq fell in love with her. He confessed his feelings to Jasmine, but she firmly rejected him. She was still studying, had dreams of becoming a nurse, and wanted to fulfill her own dreams, not ruin her career by being in a relationship. She told him clearly why she rejected his proposal. Still, he wouldn't listen and kept trying to convince her. He tried hundreds of times. When things got out of hand, Jasmine spoke to her mother about it. Her mother called Tariq Jot and explained that he was only 20 years old and should focus on his studies and not disturb her daughter. But still, he didn't listen and kept following Jasmine. He would call her, message her, and threaten her with consequences, saying, "I'm still alive and I will take account of everything." Tired and scared of all this, Jasmine filed a complaint against Tariq Jot Singh in February 2021. The police called Tariq Jot and advised him that if the case was filed, his life would be ruined, so he should stay away from her. They warned him that if there were any more complaints, legal action would be taken. This was the first time, so the police only gave him a warning. Since Jasmine broke off the friendship, Tariq's mindset changed. He started thinking that if Jasmine couldn't be his, she had no right to live. He began obsessing over how to either marry her or erase her from this world. He tried once more, but once again faced rejection. Now he began planning to kill her. He stalked Jasmine, learning where she went and whom she met. He found a perfect time, 10 p.m. at night, when Jasmine finished her shift at Nalday's home and was heading home. This was the best time to kidnap her. He then planned where to take her, how to dispose of the body, and how to avoid getting caught. He carefully scouted the area where he planned to dispose of the body, recorded it, and checked the CCTV cameras. After all this preparation, he fixed a date, 5th March. On the 5th of March, he tracked Jasmine's movements and saw she was following her usual route. Unfortunately for her, she did. She arrived at Nalday's home on time. After observing everything, he went to a hardware store nearby, thinking the cameras could be avoided there. He bought all the items needed for the kidnapping. He then waited near the Old Days home parking lot in his roommate's car, ensuring no one could see them, and there were no cameras around. It was dark, and he had already scouted the area. After Jasmine finished her shift, she walked towards the parking lot, where Tariq came and attempted to kidnap her. There was a struggle, but he managed to tie her hands behind her back with the cable tie and stuffed her into the trunk of his car. He then drove to the burial site, where there was already a hole. Thinking it was too small, he dug it further and buried Jasmine alive. Afterward, he discarded the remaining evidence in various dustbins on the way. He had no regrets and went straight home. Later, he was charged with attempted murder, and destroying evidence. The case went to the Supreme Court of South Australia. In court, the defense argued that Tariq Jot's health had deteriorated since the crime. He had trouble sleeping, was haunted by strange noises, and saw horrific things in his dreams. His defense lawyer pleaded for a lighter sentence, claiming he was mentally disturbed. After all the hearings, the South Australian Supreme Court sentenced Tariq Jot Singh to life imprisonment. This was the harshest sentence available. According to the law, he would have to stay in prison for 20 years before parole could be considered. As his mother said, "He treated my daughter like an object and disposed of her like one. We were 4 in the family, but now only 3 remain." Friends, the purpose of sharing this story is not to hurt anyone or cause distress, but to raise awareness and alert you all. What is your opinion about this incident? Please share in the comments box, and if you appreciated our efforts, don't forget to like and share this video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to our Creepy Crime channel. Thank you.